The recording now.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll start, I guess, with your current role and workplace. And could you please tell us about the Kroll Bond Rating Agency? And if you can expound on any differences between the companies like Moody's, S&P, and Fitch, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, sure. So KBRA, or Kroll Bond Rating Agency, is a global rating agency. It's one of the fourth largest in US. So the big threes are, again, Moody's, S&P, and Fitch. They cover most of the market. They cover almost 90% of the ratings market. And then the remaining 10% is being competed by KBRA and few others. It's a very close space. I'll say our industry is an oligopoly industry where we just have a few players who are rating all the clients that are available, be it in corporate trading space, or then we have other sectors as well, such as CMBS, RMBS, ABS, funds, structured finance, and whatnot. We have a presence in US and Europe as well. We have offices in Dublin and London too. So we do rate clients in European region as well as US. So KBRA started in 2010. If you wanted to know about the company history, which is also available online, it started after when we had the recession in 2008. There was a gap between the ratings agencies, and then there was needed for a restoration of trust on what the ratings were back in the day. So KBRA was founded in 2010. We just sold our stake to a private equity in 2021. And now we are owned by a private equity partner called Patron. And we compete as well as complement with S&P, Moody, and Fitch. So competition meaning that, of course, if we are rating, then we have to compete with them in terms of sending our bids. But we complement them as well because there are a lot of corporate clients, especially the bigger ones, who wants their rating to be done by all the top ratings agency. So there might be a client who might want to be rated from S&P, Moody, Fitch, as well as KBRA. And based on how they are rated, whomsoever's rating is more suitable to their needs, they might use that to push out to the investors for additional fundraise or whatever purpose they need the rating for. So yeah, this is the overall structure, how KBRA and how we are different from S&P, Moody's, and Fitch. Another difference that can be is that Moody's have a different rating scale where they have 1, 2, 3 instead of plus, minus, and flat. When I say that, that means that let's say there's a rating scale of AAA. So it can be AAA, AAA plus, AAA minus. But Moody's will have AAA3, AAA3, AAA2, AAA1. That's the only difference. Other than that, the rating scale also stays the same across all the companies.
Thank you. Are there any questions? No. Okay, so we'll move on. Can you please talk about the structure of your team and how it contributes largely to the firm's success? What is or are the hierarchy and the levels of positions as you grow in the field?
Okay, so I am in the corporate trading team. We are a very small team, but we have grown since last year almost twice. We are contributing substantially this year, especially this year, because the markets for real estate are going down and our biggest source of revenue was CMBS. But lately, corporates has been contributing significantly in the overall revenue for KBRA. The team's hierarchy starts from analyst, which is anyone who's starting right after the college, then senior analyst, associate, associate director, director, and so on. We try to keep a flat hierarchy structure where anyone can approach anyone. But since I had some experience on my plate before joining Baruch as well from India itself, so that helped me got an associate position. But anyone fresh out of college might join KBRA as an analyst or senior analyst based on how much experience they have in their bag before that. I'll also like to say that if anyone is looking for any opportunities, we are growing. That being said, our team is growing and we are looking to hire a few more in the first half itself. So anyone who is interested in joining corporate trading or want to know about it more, I'll be happy to help them.
Yeah, this is interesting, right? Everybody wants to talk.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Shinji, I think you may have just hit, if you could go back one slide.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And are there any questions based on Mukund's answer and information? No? Okay, great.
I have a question.
Sure.
I mean, it's right now the company is about 12 years, right? 13 years, something like
Yeah.
that. So, how many employees there?
We have 500 plus employees at the moment, divided between both US and Europe. Europe might have, I'll say, 80 to 100 people, so more than 400 in US.
Still a very big company.
Yeah, it's a mid-sized.
Yeah.
Thank you. Also, just one thing, if people are in a place they can't speak and they have a question, they can type it in the chat and I can always ask the question on your behalf. Okay, so we'll move on. Mukund, what does your day-to-day look like at a corporate rating position and how many hours do you work?
It's a bit busy, I'll say, just to start off. There are some times at the moment that the market is consolidating, so people might think that it might be freezing for the ratings agency, but our department is booming. We are getting new deals every day, which is again a good stress to have, because we are seeing how the job market is working at the moment, but we are in a sweet spot at this time that we have enough deals flowing through. So we are safe in that space. To start with our work, a day-to-day job, I'll start with how the client gets engaged in our firm and how we proceed ahead in the corporate rating team. So as soon as a client is engaged, it might be because they want us to rate them, and the rating can be two of those. It can be issuer or issue. Issue rating means that they already have a specified amount of debt what they want to raise, and they want us to rate based on that significant amount of debt. We know the numbers and we know who will be sponsoring them, or whatever rate of interest they have, whatever the spread is. Or it can be just directly an issuer rating, which is that they don't know right at the moment that how much they are going to raise. They just want us to rate the overall company. So as soon as they are engaged, we'll set up an initial management call with the team. We can also have due diligence trips based on where the client is. I have been to 2 of those till now. And it will be at the client's head office or wherever their production facility is, just to see how things are done. We get access to the entire C-suite of the client. So being that said, that means the CEO, CFO, and CEO of the company. We have questionnaires and all of that. We receive the financial document package, and then we determine the business risk profile as well as the financial risk profile of the corporate. Business risk profile is mostly the financial. So the business risk profile is majorly determined by the analyst discretion, based on the research that we do during the process, and whatever Q&A we had with the management and about the entire industry where they are operating in. And the financial risk profile is mostly generally just punching out, crunching in the numbers, and then arriving at a financial risk scores based on different ratios. As soon as we have both of those, so financial risk score as well as a business risk score, we have a SID matrix in the corporate rating methodology that is a proprietary methodology developed by KBRA. We use that methodology and the matrix to determine a rating. And the rating would be just I'll say it's just a random generated rating, a range. So now that is again the analyst discretion where he sees the company at. So the range will be, let's say, from AA to AAA. And then it's the analyst discretion on how much time he spent with the company, the financials, the businesses, that where he sees the company at. And then you have to justify it. As soon as that is done, then we prepare a committee memo, which is similar to an equity research report, except we don't have a buy or sell call. So we prepare that report. We are commenting on all the determinants of the financial risk as well as the business risk. And then we present that in front of our team as well as the managing director. We get a vote of approval, and then we issue a rating letter to the client with the rating recommendation that we have.
Who are the clients?
Clients can be anyone. So clients can be divided into two types. One is the directly a corporate that is approaching us to provide them a rating, or then there will be the other side where the lenders, let's say a bank or a private credit, will approach us that we are planning to issue debt to them and we want you to rate them. And that will be an unpublished rating directly catering to the private credit or the bankers, just to determine the business risk profile or the financial risk profile or the overall recovery rate on their investments. And sometimes it's the SEC compliance as well that is needed for a particular amount of debt that is issued.
Hassan just joined us. So Hassan, if you have any questions, just directly ask Mukund. All right.
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Hassan, for joining. Go ahead, Enrique. Sorry about.
Sure. And, any other questions? No? Okay, we'll move on. I know you touched on the fact that you had some experience in India, which helped you get your position, but are there any other skills and certifications or experience that you need in order to have a position such as yours?
So there is a lot of things that goes into being an analyst in a ratings firm. So start with, you should have excellent written and communication skills, because that is the essence of our role, because we prepare a memo and then we present it. We have to talk to the client all the time. It's a front office role, so having those under your bag, it's the most essential part. And then having a deep understanding of the industry. It can be a specific industry. Again, we work with multiple industries. So even if you have a deep knowledge about one industry, that can help you be a part of a corporate rating team. And then reading a lot of newspaper will help, of course. So I have a habit of reading since last 10 years, I'll say. I read at least the first hour of my day starts with reading any newspaper that I can get. So be it Wall Street Journal, Financial Times, or whatever, but I have a habit of doing that. And I think that has helped me develop the required industry knowledge and keeping up with the current affairs as well. Financial modeling, that will also help, because again, we have to prepare, we receive the financial packages, but we have to do some financial analysis and have financial projections as well for the future 5 years of the company. Learning Bloomberg will help. Of course, there are a lot of jobs where SQL and Python is needed. Even in our company, there are few roles that require that, but for corporate rating, you don't need that. You just need to have good Excel skills, good written skills. You should have prepared, because even I used that when I joined KBRA. So I had an equity research report ready, which I used for one of my equity analysis class, I think I took. So I used that to send it to the hiring manager just to show him my work, and he liked that. So you should be good in preparing reports as well.
What's the report about? Majorly, those sections.
So it was equity research report. I did a financial model and a research report on Disney at that time. But again, since our work is almost complementary to what equity researchers do, except the part that we get the access to the client, we know the deals, and we provide a rating instead of a buy and sell call.
Do you think a CFA certificate helps to?
Yeah, it does. So my manager has a CFA, but again, your skills can't be determined by your degree. So how good you are at presenting and writing.
Yeah, you are very good at writing, at least.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Amika. Sorry.
Do you have any questions? No. Okay, so we'll move on. Can you share with us what the culture and work environment is like at your organization? Describe the work-life balance and any career and professional growth opportunities, coaching and mentoring opportunities that are provided.
Yeah, so for work culture, I'll say, because as Shenzi said that I have jumped from different companies time to time. This is one of the best work culture that I've seen. It's mostly due to because we have a very younger crowd. Most of us on the floor are in their mid 20s, so we have a lot of energy and same approach, same thought on life and everything. We have a lot of after hours as well. Even if the company doesn't plan it, then we do it all by ourselves, but there's a good camaraderie within different teams as well. And so work-life balance, of course, when the deals are flowing in constantly, you have to work more than the expected number of hours. But yeah, we have some downtime, we have some uptick. Uh, so it depends. But overall, I won't complain because I like what I'm doing. So at the moment, I mean, doing 40 hours in something you don't like would be really stressing, and doing 60 for something that you like might be, again, it won't hurt you much. And what was the next? So yeah, professional development, career development, I'll say that our firm does provide some reimbursement for anyone who is looking to do a professional course like CFA, as Sanjay mentioned, or any other professional course or a college degree, whatever you want. There is a set reimbursement, which I don't remember the amount, but they do provide it. Other than that, mentorship as well. Luckily, I have got one of the best managers that I ever had. So I can reach out to him for mentoring for what I see myself doing in the next 5 years, or where I see myself in the firm. So as the flat hierarchy is, it's easier to approach them. And again, since we all are a group of young people who just want to make an impact, so it helps in just setting the tone.
Yeah, it's nice to hear that you have support at work and
Yeah.
somewhat of a life balance. So any questions now?
Yeah,
Okay.
do you like some mentor program like EOC in Baruch?
Yeah, actually, I was a mentee for EOC
Oh,
last year. Yeah, I was a
nice.
mentee there. Yeah.
So I guess another question is, what made you switch to corporate rating industry? And I guess for anyone's edification, what were you doing before?
Right before, or I have to start from way back when I was in accounting?
Okay.
No, where should I start from?
Oh, sorry, no. I was asking, what made you switch to like corporate rating industry? But I don't know if other people know. I certainly don't. What did you switch from?
Okay, so first I switched from accounting to finance. That was again because I was finding accounting a bit redundant. And from there, corporate rating, again, I am someone who is really interested in equity. I like equity research. I like writing papers. I like publishing them, creating memos and all. So that is something that is one of my strengths. I always feel that, and I want my work to be published. That is something that drives me somehow. And there are only two rules that can do that: equity research or corporate ratings, which suits my profile. And I'm really good at financial modeling, I would have to say that. So again, accounting background helps me in doing that, but I can analyze the financial statements in a better way than most of the lot, I'll say. So again, that did help me. Moving to corporate trading, again, I was working at Society Generale before this, and I was working on the trading floor. That was a dream for me, to work at a trading floor in New York, head office of any company. That was my first goal as soon as I entered Baruch, that to score good grades and to work on the trading floor. So luckily both happened. And I got to know that some dreams are meant to be broken. So because the work environment, the amount of working hours and everything, it was a mess. We hear a lot of burnouts happening. I've seen few happen in the floor in the little amount of time that I spent at the firm. So I knew that I can't see myself doing that for next 2 or 5 years, and that's what my goal was. Whenever I start after my college at a full-time role, they offered me a full-time, but I knew that that was not my calling. So a friend of mine at KBRA had always said good things about the firm. They were working there already. So I thought of giving it a shot. But yeah, I chose the department. So at that time we had openings in almost all the teams, but I decided that I would be part of corporate ratings if that pans out. Other than that, I was not interested in other roles.
Interesting.
Where is the Society General?
Where is, I mean, in New York?
Yeah, in New York, with that, where is the site?
So it's at Park Avenue, Park and 46th.
Okay. All right.
And you sort of touched a little bit on it, but are there any other pros and cons of accounting and investment analysis you'd like to share for people entering that sort of workforce?
Accounting. I
Depends
have
what
my
kind of
reservations.
accounting, right?
Yeah, I have my reservations.
Yeah.
I was one of the best auditors as well. Let me put that through. So for the 4 years that I spent in different firms, I was one of the best auditors. I used to choose my clients. All the top clients wanted to work with me, and my partner has given me all the authority to choose the clients because I was putting on brilliant work out there. But it was redundant, and I was not excited. I got bored after a while, so I left accounting for that. It was exciting in the start. Of course, everything new that you start is exciting. I think discomfort is my comfort zone. I like new challenges, new projects, new tasks. So accounting wasn't doing that for me after a while, because you develop a niche in a specific industry, or you take a specific clients after a while, and those are yours for the rest of your life. So that was not for me. And financial. So what was the next, investment analysis, or sorry?
Yeah, investment analysis.
Investment analysis almost complements what I do at the moment. At that time also, we were looking at equities as well as debt structures. We were analyzing which is a good source of investment, and we were catering to the client's need. Except the clients were investors back then, and now the clients are corporates for us. But it was almost similar. We had to do the financial analysis. We had to determine the risk associated with the industry in which we are investing, the market, and whatnot.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions? Comments?
Hi, I had a question for him. So,
Yeah,
any
I have a question with Mukund.
Sure. I think Hassan maybe first.
Hello.
yeah. So, okay. So, any advice to learn financial modeling specifically for private equity, I guess, or even stock analysis, please? Thanks.
Okay. So I last I remember, I think our college allows us to participate in a day webinar or a course from Trading the Street, which was for financial modeling. I think that can help you. Second is, of course, you can look up for multiple videos available. I will say start with just one company, jot down any industry that excites you, or one company, let's say Tesla, dig into deep into that. So just read their financial statements. They are long. I'll say read their entire 10K. They're almost 250 pages. I know that, but reading it in the entirety will give you an idea about the industry as well as the company, their management. And when you know each and everything about it, it helps in financial modeling, because in the end, those are projections. Those are basic projections, what you think of the company and the industry. So once you get a knowledge of it, for the financial modeling part, I mean, there are a lot of courses available. There are multiple methodologies that use DCF, cash flow, NPV. You can use any of that, but for the base to be set, you have to know how to understand the financial statements, what goes where. That's the basic. Yeah,
Thank you.
I think that answered for him.
Oh, since we come to the courses, do you recommend we take the financial modeling class here?
Yep.
They said it's a I remember who said, Shram or GP said it's just a joke, that the professor.
I can't comment on those, sorry.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
Yeah.
Compared to this, I mean, there is still I'm thinking about to take the optional marketing, compared to the to the finance modeling. If it's you, then only take one from these two. Then which one to choose?
Options I didn't took.
Oh, you didn't take options.
Yeah.
Marketing.
But
Okay.
I'll always say just ask them, but final call should be yours. Be your own judge. So even if the professor, you have issues with the professor, it doesn't matter. At least the coursework would be good. You can always read that on your own. So
Yeah.
I never think that education goes to waste. There's no, everything helps everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Dipin, you have a question? Go ahead and ask. Sorry, I just interrupted you. Okay, he's not here anymore.
Dipin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, my question is addressed in the previous question asked by someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Do we want to move on to
Kira has a question.
Oh, Kira.
Hi, yes, I did have a question. So with your current company, I was wondering how you guys address the current banking crisis that's been unfolding since March. I believe that from my understanding, Moody's has been criticized for lowering their rating for the banks that failed, like SVB.
Yeah.
After the fact, like after it was already discovered how at risk they were for failure. And the same thing can be said for First Republic's situation right now. So I was wondering what your company's approach was to the crisis, which began in March and is still unfolding.
Okay, so we were not rating those clients at the moment, just putting it out there. For that, we did had a discussion. So last time in 2008, when things unfolded, right, it was said that the ratings were not on point with what the financials used to say, what the company's profile was. So 2008, if you compare it with now, that time they were getting AAA. All the corporates were in AAA range when their asset quality was not on point, right? And this time Moody's or S&P thought of being honest and being ethical in downgrading them based on what their asset quality was. And they did communicated them in January, I think, that we'll downgrade you on Feb 8th. That was the deadline, I guess, of the rating report to come out. So they had already, because that's the part of the process of ratings, that you have to communicate to the client and before you issue the report that we are going to issue it, you can withdraw the ratings. Either that can be done or we'll publish it. So they had no other option back then. So now this time we communicated, let's say Moody's communicated to them. It's not Moody's fault. That's what we think, because I think they were on point on how things were unfolding. If a firm is not able to raise funds and then they were looking for a sell by Goldman, things were not going through. Of course, they jumped the gun, and as soon as they got to know that they were being downgraded, they were looking for selling their assets as fast as they can. Things did unfold it pretty fast, but I'll say it was not wrong. People might criticize, anything you do might be criticized. That's how the world is at the moment with social media. But our thought process was, when we saw the entire things after that happened, how the plan of action worked. And there's a good New York Times article as well. You can read that, how things unfolded with each and every day, that who was at fault for you to judge as well. We arrived at a decision that it was bound to happen. We all knew that there was a bubble that was being created. Of course, if they are lending to the venture capitals, that is incorrect in their ideology itself from the start. But rating them or downgrading them, it's the part of how the rating process is. If the asset quality is dropping, then you have to downgrade them. So personally at KBRA, at least our team, what we did was we went back to our work. We saw all the clients that were associated with Silicon Valley or whose issuers are SVB or FRC or others. But other than that, we didn't find any flaws in it.
Thank you for explaining how the process works. I
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
Sure.
This is the next page, right?
Yeah, if there's no other questions, we can sort of move on to education and sort of your early career. Mukund, did you know what you wanted to do when you were in college?
Yeah, I think I answered that there was just two goals: score well and get on the trading floor. Luckily did both, but yeah, that was the only thing that I had in my mind when I came.
There was nothing else of grandeur. And you sort of explained a bit about your pivot and things like that, but can you kind of explain to people how you navigated your early career in accounting, investing, and wealth management in terms of internships, apprenticeships, any clubs or networking, and sort of how people are able to leverage what they have now?
Yeah, so for networking, I'll say never shy away to reach out to anyone. You should always approach, again, it's a odd of lot. So it's a probabilities game. Only 10% will get back to you. You can do personalized networking where you have personalized mails for them. But of course, always add your achievements in that, because anyone who is spending or sparing some time for you should know that it's worth investing. Nobody will just reply to your random message just because, I mean, there should be a connection somewhere. Either they are alumni of your school, you share common interests, or you have something in your belt and that excites them to know as well. Because whenever there's a conversation, they are also looking to get something from you, either your energy or your excitement about the industry or whatnot. So after a while, what I've realized that all the managers look for curious people, because they want to know how younger people think. So be curious, be always network, join clubs. Zicklin Finance Club was the first thing that happened to me as soon as I came to New York. Within 2 weeks, I was a member. It has helped me in getting roles, because I always used to plug that I'm a member of Zicklin Finance Club, because that was the only thing that I had from US. And of course, my previous experiences and everything counts, but you have to be good in other communications and all of that. So if someone sees that you are also being part of other things other than your education itself, that helps. And keep the conversations interesting. And for internships as well, what I will recommend, I think it doesn't apply for everyone, one for himself or herself, but always try different roles. You never know what you will like unless you do that. Never just make your life decision based on what someone else is saying. There are a lot of jobs that others hate, but there's someone who is doing that and they might be loving it. So try to have different internships in different industries or different companies or different profiles. That's what I did until I found my calling. I wanted to be on the trading floor. I did that. I didn't like it. I wanted to be in a big firm. I did that. I wanted to be in a smaller one. So the first one, of course, if you are an international student, you can't choose the first internship. I understand that. You take whatever you are given. We came in pandemic. We were the worst lot, I'll say, to come to New York at the time when pandemic was at the highest level. Job market was not good. Everything was falling apart. So the first internship everyone took was whatever was given to them. But after that, I became a bit choosy. Being part of Zicklin Finance Club did help me. It motivated me somehow, because at that time, I think, I don't know how the headcount works at ZFC right now. Earlier, we were called Zicklin Investment Club. This logo, the name change, everything, I think me and Enam worked thinking that we need to do the overhaul. But at that time, it was more exclusive. We were just 10, 12 people strong. So a lot of my friends also interviewed to be part of Zicklin Finance Club at that time, which was called Investment Club. They didn't went through. I got selected. So I was thinking that, okay, might be that I am better than someone else. So that gave me a motivational push to use this as a plugin wherever I was applying. Of course, that was first thing on my CV back then.
Thank you. You talked about your first job in the financial services industry, but is there anything you can share with us about that you think is valuable as to how you landed it?
Always keep conversations exciting. So the first role that I got was just because I knew a friend who was working there. I communicated to him, then he got me introduced with someone at the senior position. Then again, it's all about conversation. I think good conversation can take you places as well. So he liked me as a person, and then next day I was given an interview. I cracked that, of course, with the skills, but there are a lot of I rely a lot on conversing with people and getting things done.
Yeah, definitely personal relationships help.
Yeah.
You talked about ZFC, but is there anything about your experience in India you'd like to share as part of your path to your current position?
I mean, if you connect the dots, everything helps in everything. So my accounting background helped me to move to finance because I had enough experience. The first job got me the next one got me the next one. So connecting it, everything helped. In terms of learning, it takes years of experience, how many years you are spending at a role and how much you're learning. That will help you in being a better analyst, I'll say. So in terms of specifics, I'll say um, work really well on your Excel skills, develop good financial modeling skills, and it looks easier than said, but unless you're working on a real project, you won't understand the importance of those. So taking any training session, I'll say do more internships, because applying that on site is much more relevant. So I have been working since I was 19 years old. I have been working full time, so I don't have a full college experience, I'll say. I have always been using whatever I'm learning in my school at my workplace. So that has helped me to gain more years of experience than others. And that does, again, those were internships. They were asking me to do random jobs as well, but I was just waiting for the right opportunity to happen at that time. So try to do as many internships as you can. Try to work in different industries under different groups unless you find your calling.
Thank you. You mentioned that you have worked while you were a student, but I guess what was your biggest challenge transitioning fully out of the role of student?
Yeah, so that never happened except the first semester at Baruch, when I just came in spring. So I did 3 semesters at Baruch. The first one was the only one when I didn't work. In summer, I had an internship. In fall, I had another one. In spring, another one. So I never transitioned. I transitioned from being working full time to doing nothing in the first semester at Baruch. So that was something different. So that's why I thought of utilizing it in the best way forward, of being a part of a club. Then I also represented Baruch College in one competition as well. But transitioning was never something that happened to me. So I'm not the best person to answer that question.
Yeah, when you talk about the competition, I mean, I know that it's a University of North Carolina, so at Chapel. So what benefit did you get from that? Did it help you with the job hunting?
Yeah, it did. Because I think this was the first time Baruch came fourth in that competition, and it's an international competition, so it's very respected around. Everyone knows about that. It's a very prestigious one as well. So again, always plug your achievements. So those were the first things that I used to write down on my CV, that my club activities and everything, and the work experiences used to follow through later on. So yeah.
Oh, but you are still one of the best, right?
Sorry?
You are still one of the best in that team.
No, it's not that. It was a teamwork.
I know. All right, go ahead, Erica. Sorry.
I think actually we touched on everything on these slides.
All right,
Mukund, is there anything from your background you think we did not touch on? Yeah, on those slides?
I
Yeah.
think it's pretty much it. I can talk about anything else if you want, but I think we did cover most of that, and
Yeah.
happy to be part of this because I'm on the other side now. A year back, I
Yeah.
was on the other end of the spectrum, interviewing and asking others to be a speaker. Feels really good. Looks like I've done something good in life. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, happy to help anyone. If even if no, people are not able to join in this event, you can spread the word around. If someone wants to reach out to me, I know the trouble of not being replied on any networking thing, but anyone who reached out to me with a simple hi as well. And if they are from Baruch, I have a soft corner for anyone who is from Baruch. I'll try to reply within a week at least. And if you need any help on knowing more about KBRA and applying at KBRA, sorry.
I think that was just background
Deepin,
noise.
you want to ask a question?
Oh, me?
No, Deepin.
No, actually, it's all like he shared a very great insights about his roles and the industry.
Of course.
It's really like good to have like him on this session, and it's really insightful as well. So looking forward to connect with you, Mukund. Actually, I remember that Mukund like guided me like before joining the Brook. He like suggested me like resources I can like rely upon for the finance industry. So I'm really thankful to him earlier, and right now I'm also like looking to meet him in person so that we can like have a active chat about like the industry insights next.
All right. So next semester we will plan from now. Okay. Then Martin, you bring Manov, and maybe the other. I think we have three at least. Finance students. Manov is another ZFC alumna, and the other one I cannot remember.
Hardy. I think Hardy is the third one.
And we can have an in-person event of
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Anytime for Baruch.
next
I
semester.
always have some time in plate for Baruch.
I
I do
have a question
understand the
about
struggles.
the technical skill. You just said about Excel. Do you think any language is important yesterday?
Yeah. So for that, for my role, actually, the team that I am in, we don't need any skills in terms of SQL or Python, but there are other teams on our organization itself that requires that. So it depends on which role you are applying for. For ours, you don't need that. It's more on the soft skills that you should be well versed with, and those which require more technical skills don't require much of the skills in terms of communication, all of that. So as you see in the tech world, you just need to know how to code, and everything is sorted in that. Ours is a front office role, so front office requires more on the presentation and verbal communication and all of that.
Okay. Yeah, I think the computer language is pretty hard for me right now. I know some, but I know I'm not good at it.
Yeah, so not everything is meant for everyone. I'm also not good at coding, so I knew that any job that requires Python and SQL might not be the right fit for me. So yeah, we can't win all the battles, right?
All right, Erica, you can go ahead if there is anybody still have questions.
Questions, comments? A hello to Mukund.
All right, that's okay. Then we can continue. If there is no QA actually, we are still have our trade competition. Trade competition just was started. I mean, try to set up. You guys try to set up, right? But it was hard. Then I come and successfully just made a group. And actually today is the end day of the competition. So I guess those results will come out tonight. Maybe Han Sang is in that competition group. I don't know. And for the happy hour, we are organizing a happy hour with MBA club and weekly women's club. So it will happen on May, I guess it's 19th. So if anybody you can join, I hope I can see you guys there. And lastly, it's about the our ZFC website. I think we don't have to mention about this. I guess everybody is ZFC club members here. So and I will stop sharing here. It's 5:30, and